In a previous video, I discussed the recommended steps if someone is dying, and you can go back and watch that video if you're curious about that. Here I'm going over the specifics. I've already gone over the first one in the last video. Now I'm going to be going over the next one. The next one is realize that you have no control over it and accept what is happening. Once you do that, that frees you of the fear, the anxiety, and everything else. So you've educated yourself for the dying process. You know what to expect, at least the basics of it. You realize that you can't do anything. It's not in your hands to control. So you accept what is happening. And so I also want to kind of wrap in the other step after this, which is make them as comfortable as you can, because that is something you do have control over. But first, let's go back to accepting what is happening. So when I found out my mother had cancer, I had a hard time accepting that. My dad had just had cancer, lung cancer, and had that part of his lung removed and gone through that whole process. So now my mother had cancer, except now my mother's cancer was terminal, and we were given a time frame. So I was having a lot of emotions and anxiety and anger, and it was coming out and seeping out in my life, around my family, around everybody. And it's because I realized I had to go to a waterfall and stand there and figure it out. And I just spoke. I speak to nature. When I mean speak to nature, it means I speak to the divine energy. So I went out there and I was just speaking to the waterfall, speaking to the nature, speaking to God, whoever you want to call it, your higher self. And I came to the conclusion, standing out there, is that I said, I accept that my mother has cancer. I accept that my mother has cancer. I accept that she is probably going to die. Or I accept that she is going to die. Whatever it is that you need to do to accept it. And once I said, I accept my mom has cancer, I felt a weight lift. And not that I feel good about my mother having cancer. Absolutely not. Not the fact that I'm going to lose my mother. Absolutely not. But just that I accept that this is what is happening. I can't ignore what is happening. And by me resisting what was happening, I was not dealing with it. And that's why it was seeping out of my body and my emotions and the way I was responding and acting and showing up to life. Is I hadn't accepted it. And I felt that weight lift, and I felt like, oh, okay, now that I've accepted it, what's the next step? What do I need to do? How do I continue on with this? And that it means dealing with our emotions and dealing with our feelings as they come up, because we have control over how we react to things and how we show up in life. So accepting what was happening was able to allow me to let go of that piece of it, stop resisting, and be able to take the next steps to move forward. So it's already been 3.5 minutes, so I'll make the next one in my next video. Hope this helps. Love always and forever. Bye for now.